Stephen, good morning from the Big Easy, and it is bustling here this morning, about a week after Fat Tuesday. And we talk about hurricane victims, but more importantly, survivors. I spent the day yesterday traversing the region, talking to folks that went through Hurricane Ida. Sunday, August 29th, 2021. The 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. And Hurricane Ida was rapidly intensifying in the Gulf of Mexico. By late afternoon, the hurricane swirled inland, bringing catastrophic 150-mile-per-hour Category 4 winds on the Louisiana coast. Heavy rainfall, tornadoes, and flash flooding accompanied. But I just want to show you the power of this wind right now. We're very close to the Mississippi River. As New Orleans began to unravel, life-threatening storm surge along the coast of Louisiana inundated many communities. After Ida ravaged the region, the sun came out Monday morning, and devastation was in plain sight.
We have no light, we have no water.
Sheer horror. Debris everywhere, poles are down, no power.
Choppers circled the skies, rescuing the stranded. In the bayous, airboats raced across dangerous waters looking for victims. Meanwhile, Ida was on the move, eventually making its deadly path up to the northeast United States. In total, over 100 people died and $75 billion of damage sustained. Across Louisiana, electricity and water were scarce for weeks after.
In Lower Jefferson, Grand Isle and Laffite, many of those people still aren't in homes. We're still waiting for people to get in trailers. I mean, this is just a really long-term process for so many families, and it's hard as the months go by. You know, in many respects, you look at our community and we look very different, and we look cleaned up, and we look neater. And in many respects, we realize how much longer we have to go until we're put back together whole.
6 months after Hurricane Ida came ashore here in Grand Isle, the barrier island is hanging on for dear life. Almost all of the structures took damage. Many still sit in ruin. Streets flood with only a couple inches of rain because the drains are not operating to capacity. Mayor David Carmidel is working around the clock to save his beloved fishing village.
You know, and being honest with you, with all the 1,000 things that's going on, really, I'm just a little frustrated because it takes quite a while for government to come in.
Carmidel has been working with state and federal officials to try and secure funding for an offshore rock barrier, which he and others believe can save this island the next time a major hurricane comes ashore. He is asking for $50 million to protect Grand Isle.
That's something that we got 12 gaps in the levee right now that I'm concerned about. If a category 2, 3 right now would hit Grand Isle, the condition we're in, it'd probably wipe us out, cut the island in 3 or 4 pieces.
These before and after satellite images show the erosion and damage Hurricane Ida caused on Grand Isle. 3 days after the storm, Fox Weather made our way onto the island. It's been days since anyone could get down here to Grand Isle, Louisiana on the coastline where Hurricane Ida came in, whipping those strong Category 4 winds, and it is 360 degrees, unfortunately, of destruction, as you can see. Sadly, even with the hard work of many, much of the island is still in shambles.
What kind of toll is this taking on you personally?
Well, it's tough. It's a lot of work. You know, I don't want to tell nobody no. You know, I just got to keep strong. I got a council meeting in a little while. You know, as long as there's one grain of sand to plant the American flag, we ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry.
Hurricane Ida, a selfish taker. But for the survivors, they continue to rebuild their communities and lift up their neighbors. Stephen, David, the mayor of Grand Isle, is headed to Washington, D.C. On Friday, tomorrow. He'll be there till next Wednesday. He's meeting with members of Congress. As he said, he gets about 10 minutes at a time with certain members, trying, pleading, begging for the funds to try and build that rock barrier wall offshore to help not only Grand Isle, but New Orleans up here about 31 miles away for the next time a storm comes in and the surge makes its way. Amazing, the survivors after Ida.
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.